Hello guys and welcome to my guide on Astellia. In this guide we will focus on overall tips and tricks for the release, deck effects, which deck effects are important, which Astels are important at the start, and which Astels you should have when reaching the end game, and also go over the important Astel farming spots in the leveling process. First of all, while leveling, you should always do the 3 repeatable tries of each repeatable quest. So you will need the experience to reach level 50. If you don't take them in time, when you are at the current level of them, you will get to a point where you run out of quests, and then you go back, repeat to do those repeatable quests. But you are too high level to get the mob experience, so you will lose a lot of potential experience overall. For the ancient crystals, which you get while questing, you can either get some leveling gear at the ancient fragment merchants, but you should always keep an eye on them, because once reaching level 50 you will need 10,000 of them to buy the first 4 legendary pieces of gear, which each cost 2,500 of those fragments. So basically you will want to buy the leveling weapon at level 10, skip the one at level 50, maybe buy the one at level 20, and after the level 21 you won't buy any more of them, as they are not needed. You get enough gear from the dungeons you farm then. Once you reach level 11, you can pick your gathering skill, where you can only pick one out of many, while you can do all the crafting skills. As you can only level your gathering skill in specific regions, as you will need your gathering skill on a specific level to farm materials in a higher region, you should start leveling and training your gathering profession right from the start after you hit level 11, as you won't have the time, besides grinding, to go back to lower areas and level your training progression. Your gathering progression is there. Now for the Astels and deck effects. Each Astel is part of 3 deck effects, which once you reach 9, 15 or 24 points, give the effect in 3 different ranks. To reach those deck effects, you at first need to equip those 3 or some deck effects 4 Astels into your Astel bar. Each Astel in your bar counts to the deck effects, but instead of a 4 player 4 Astel deck effects, which you can read where you can reach the 9 point effect by equipping all 4. For the 3 Astel effects, you will need to equip one of the treasures. Those treasures, as you can see at the dungeons, can give you a permanent bonus on one of the deck effects. This Agorist rope here would give 9 points on the passionate effect. So you will need to find the right treasures, as you can equip 2 of them to boost the deck effects that you want. For the important deck effects, there are 2 crafting deck effects which are pretty much important. Rotor is part of both of them, the Master Artisan and the Technician, where the Master Artisan gives you a higher chance of critical success, which makes the item you craft better and of a higher rarity. and the Technician, which increases equipment enhancement success rate, which is pretty much important if you want to go further than +7, as at +7 enhancement pretty much fails like 70% of the time. It decreases your enhancement rank then. There are two important gathering effects. One at Leo, it is a gatherer, which gives you a higher chance of critical success when gathering, which gives you more materials when you gather. The other one is where Scorpio? It's from Scorpio, the chemist, which gives you a higher chance to obtain additional enhancement stones when dismantling equipment, which is pretty much important because on enhancing legendary equipment you need between 23,000 and 50,000 materials for the different enhancement grades, which takes quite some time with all the chemists to get. Now for the important deck effects that aren't for crafting or gathering. There we got the Spirited Summoner, which increases your AP recovery, which you need if you want to keep more than one Astel permanent out. If you get it at the 24 deck point bonus, you will be able to keep one Guardian and one Servant permanently out. At the lower rates, you can only pick two Servant packs and have them permanently up. The next important one is Savior's Friend, which has a chance to not consume AP when you summon one of the Saviors, Braga or Eligos, which enables you, if it procs, that you can put both out at the same time, basically instant, which is good for boss burning phases. When bosses in legendary dungeons reach the last 30% health, and you want to burst them down. Then we got Summoner of Air, which contains Grimmar, Kieran, Cygnus, and Lyra, which increases your maximum AP. It doesn't really make you able to have more than one Astel out, but it brings you that if you don't have the Spirited Summoner, you can still have more than one Astel out for a longer time, because it takes longer for the AP cost, which additional Astels give you, burn down your AP. Then we got the Guardian's Friend, which reduces the AP cost to keep Guardian summoned, which also helps together with with Spirited Summoner to keep more than one Astel out. And we've got the where is it? And we got the Companion, which reduces the AP cost to keep Servants summoned. If you've got Spirited Summoner and one of either Guardian's Friend or Companion out, you can then have up to 3 pets permanently out if you got the maximum point rank in them. Possible are 1 Guardian and 2 Servants up permanently, which either one Guardian's Friend or Companion together with Spirited Summoner. And those are the most important ones in the endgame. For leveling, there is also the mana regeneration buff, which you can where you can get the first stage just by putting in Eligos, Archer, Sirius, and Aquarius in the bar, which basically makes you able to skip a lot of mana potions, as you won't need them. Okay, now for the important Astels. While starting the game and being in the leveling process, the most important Astels are Ram and Rota, and if Anarchy gets enabled, which Anarchy in CBT2 now they disabled them for a reason we don't know. Rotor is the best tank at the start, and Ram is basically the best healer at the start, as his heals can be compared with the ones from Ida. Now they are both, you get both by doing the quest, and they are farmable in the first two dungeons, Ruthless Den and Hall of Equality and Co. So you can farm them pretty early to get them on higher star rank rating. Anakir is currently not in the game, but maybe they will get him back after the release. Now for the must-have Astels in the endgame, sure you want Bragas and Eligos just for just as those shit buttons when you pulled a little bit too much or your tank is down and need to be revived, so you want Bragas or Eligos to tank for a while. Then you want Virgo, as she's pretty much the best tank in the whole game, due to her snatch, which pulls the target to her and makes her put up a greater amount of threat, which basically is combined Rota and Tetrinio ult. And she also increases the physical and magical defense and the status and the evasion rating of you. So she's pretty much the best tank you can have. Anarchia, if they put him back into the game, is overall the best damage dealer Astel in the whole game. So yeah, you always want to have him. Then you always want to have Ida, as she heals you pretty good and has an ult that reduces the physical and magical defense and evasion of your targets, which gives your DDs a higher damage output. And you also want to have Ram, as he's still one of the best healers and easy to get. Grimar has a better healing output than him, but she's pretty hard to get, so you would want to focus on Ram early on. For farming spots, you can farm them also in the solo and party dungeons. You don't need to farm the legendaries. And you want to focus early on Ruthless Den and Crimson Rock, where you get Rota. Also Hall of Equality and Mason and the Temple of Blessing, which gives you Ram. Those are the pretty much 4 most important dungeons early on until you got Rota and Ram as basically 3 stars. Where you want to go for Archduke Coliseum Mansion to get Virgo and Eligos, as you want Eligos pretty much early on, and Virgo as the best tank, sure you want her. And Sensora Forest pretty much at level 50 is then to get Braga as your second savior pet. And that's basically all for the dungeons at Astels. There are 2 more Astels that are pretty good and good overall, which one is Glacier. She's not part of a good deck effect, but you want her for legendary dungeons, as for the trash mobs you can pull more trash mobs with when every one of the party has Glacier out with her ulti, as a freeze from her can stack and pretty much make the enemies freeze for all the time your DDs need to burn them down and kill them. And you will want to have Psyker, as Psyker is pretty much a must-have for PvP, as she increases attack and movement speed, which makes her pretty damn good. And with her teleport and backstab, she can also inflict pretty high damage in PvP. And that's basically all. One more important thing you should know is that once you summoned one of your Astels, you can always unsummon them and summon them again with no cooldown time. What if your Astel has maximum HP? If your Astel got damaged by an AoE and so on, and you want to desummon them and summon them back into the game, so they have full life. They will get a cooldown based on how much HP they lost, up to 3 minutes when the Astel died. So if you can, try to desummon your Astel at full health if it stands in an AoE to keep them safe, and once the AoE of bosses are done, you can summon them again with no cooldown time at boss fights. That helps pretty much, as else you will have no Astel up sometime and all your Astels on cooldown when on boss fights in legendary dungeons. I hope this little guide helped some of you. I will make a few more guides to dungeons, set point allocation, and to skill allocations and combo system for the different classes later on. For now, if you got any further questions, ask them on YouTube or come into my stream. And have a good time.